Hello my dear students, once again I welcome you all to your Civics online class. So again in today's online class we'll be doing the continuation part of your fourth chapter from your Civics, that is known as the Judiciary, the Supreme Court. So if you have seen the previous video of this chapter, there I have taught you or explained you regarding, as we all know, the Supreme Court is also known as the apex court, final interpreter, as well as the guardian of the constitution, whose main role or aim is to protect all the fundamental rights, especially for the citizens, so that they should not get any such kind of hamperness from those kinds of problems, and just to give justice to the innocent people. We have got the judiciary body where lots of courts are being established in all the parts of the Indian subcontinent. If we talk about from the lower court, we talk about the Lok Adalat. On top we see known as the session court, and the civil court, criminal court, then subordinate court, then we talk about the high court, and finally the topmost court where we have got only in India with the headquarter in New Delhi, known as Supreme Court. So let's continue the class. So in today's topic we'll focus on the jurisdiction. So what do you mean by actually the jurisdiction? So J for jurisdiction, so similarly J for justice, J for judiciary, J for judge. Here also we talk about the jurisdiction whose main aim is to give the judgment. Again justice, judgment also starting with J. So here we talk about the authority to administer the justice or exercise the power protecting fundamental rights. We all know there are 7 types of fundamental rights: right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, right to constitutional remedies, and right to education, and so many other rights we have got. So how to protect those kinds of fundamental rights for the citizens, so that there should not be any such kind of problem, and it is also the department for judge as well as for all the courts that are been established in the India. Next we focus that if we talk about the jurisdiction, so here we have got different types of court which are established, as I already told you about the Lok Adalat, session court, criminal court, civil court, high court, subordinate court, and even talking about the Supreme Court. So when we talk about the jurisdiction, here we see that there are mainly 4 types of jurisdiction which are been under the jurisdiction whose main role is to give justice. What kind of power can be exercised by those kinds of judges who are been appointed by President of India, either with the advice of the Council of Ministers or with even the advice of the High Court judge, and talking about the respective person. So here first talking about original jurisdiction. So actually there are 4. Let me tell you only the names of the 4 jurisdiction: original jurisdiction, appellate jurisdiction, and then talking about the advisory jurisdiction, and the last, that is known as revisory jurisdiction. So let's start with the first jurisdiction, that is known as original jurisdiction. So the original jurisdiction is mainly applying the cases which are directly or for the first instance. So talking about whenever a cases that have been filed directly to the Supreme Court in New Delhi, so that cases are known as the jurisdiction talking about the original. That means directly the cases are being forwarded on the desk of the Supreme Court judge, they are known as original jurisdiction. So the cases like suppose disputes between central government and the state government. Sometimes you may hear a lot of news, especially in the news channel, regarding what kind of state government of, suppose example like West Bengal, going against the central government with lots of policies, with lots of decisions, they are not so happy. So on based those kind of disputes are also under the original jurisdiction. Second, talking about the disputes between 2 or more states. We all know there are 29 states. So if one state is having a problem with those kinds of other 2 states or more than 2 states also, those kinds of cases are also being handled by the Supreme Court under the original jurisdiction. So original jurisdiction comes under the article number 131. So the next we talk about the jurisdiction that is known as appellate. So appellate jurisdiction, it comes under the article number 132. So here we see that it is a formal request or the process to file those kinds of cases. That means in the appellate it can be appealed. That means suppose when a particular person wants to file a case with the help of lawyer or advocate, either talking about the civil case or the criminal case, and if they are being forwarded to the High Court, and if suppose they are not getting any such kind of judgment, even after the decision has been said by the High Court judge, those kinds of cases are being appeal. They can appeal those kinds of cases to the topmost or the apex court known as Supreme Court. So there we see that those kinds of cases which are being forwarded from High Court or from Junior Court directly to the Supreme Court for appealing, those kind of cases are known as appellate jurisdiction. So under the appellate jurisdiction, it comes under the three broad categories. First, talking about the constitutional cases. So in the constitutional cases, it's mainly talking about the interpretation of the constitution, so that every citizens, every people residing in the parts of Indian subcontinent, they have to follow the laws and orders of the constitution that have been made, which took nearly for 3 years to complete, with articles, schedules, parts and amendment acts, so on. So that is also talking about the constitutional cases. Second, we see talking about the civil cases. So civil cases mostly talking about how the High Court, those kinds of, like suppose land dispute, those kinds of problem or those kinds of disputes are being forwarded from High Court to Supreme Court. So they are known as civil cases, but under the appellate jurisdiction. And the third is known as the criminal cases. Under the criminal also same kinds of process from High Court to Supreme Court. The cases are being forwarded for killing, murdering, and those kinds of cases also under the criminal case, with the topic known as appellate jurisdiction. And the third jurisdiction we see, that is known as advisory jurisdiction, which comes with article number 143. So in this jurisdiction, mainly we talk that how the president as well as the Supreme Court judge, they play a very important role. First, talking about the president. So president, they have the right to advise to all the judges of the Supreme Court. So total number of judges in Supreme Court, there are 31, including Chief Justice of India. So those kinds of advice, a good kind of decision can also be given by the president to those kinds of 31 judges to the Supreme Court. On the other hand, if you talk about the Supreme Court, even the Supreme Court judge have got the right to give the opinion, their views on points based on the laws and orders to the President of India, because the President of India appoints all the judges of Supreme Court, Chief Justice along with all the 30 other judges. Next, the last topic, that is known as revisory jurisdiction. So revisory jurisdiction, it mainly talks about the revising or talking about giving the review. Suppose when a judge of a Supreme Court gives a decision based on either the civil case or the criminal case, on those basis we see when a president feels that whatever the decision has been given based on civil case by the judge or the Chief Justice of India of the Supreme Court, so if the president feels that no, he or she has given some kind of wrong decision based on that cases, again the president has got the right to give a judgment that has been already given by the Supreme Court or the Chief Justice of India. That means even the decision given by the Supreme Court judge can be changed by the President of India. That is, only the President of India has got the power or the right to change the decision given by the Supreme Court judge, and that comes under the revisory jurisdiction. So this was overall the topic for today's class, talking about the jurisdiction and the 4 types of jurisdiction: original jurisdiction, appellate jurisdiction, advisory jurisdiction, and revisory jurisdiction. I hope you have understood for today's class. Till then, stay safe. Thank you and God bless.